Hello and welcome back to the Single Society podcast. My name is Jo, and together we are going to be reshaping the conversation about being single through the much more positive lens that it really deserves. Now, as well as hosting this podcast, many of you may already know that I run singles nights, and currently I run those events in York, in Leeds, in Manchester, in Durham, but we are expanding all the time. So there's lots of singles nights happening, and the goal of those is to create really inclusive, welcoming spaces for single people at a similar age and stage of life to meet and hopefully, yes, meet somebody extra special as well. Now, if you are interested in that, you can find all the details of upcoming events in the description for this podcast. So if you want to go and have a look, you can do. And the goal of this podcast, specifically this episode, is going to be about answering the most frequently asked questions that I get around singles nights. Now, I'm going to cover as much as I can today, but there are going to be more things coming up in the future. So if you haven't already, I would really encourage you to subscribe or to follow this podcast. So it's called The Single Society. You probably know that if you managed to find it already. But follow, subscribe, and make sure that you are part of that conversation. I will be sharing more about the singles nights I run and how to get ready for those. But I will also be looking at lots of other things about singles life. So in recent episodes, I've been talking about how to manage those big seasonal celebrations that we have coming up. So it's not just about the events, it is also about, singles life and how we truly make the most of it. But let me dive in to some of the most frequently asked questions that I get around singles nights. The first one, probably the biggest, the most frequent one that I get, and also happily the simplest to answer. So the question is, can I come to this event by myself? Do other people come to this event by themselves? Now, the honest answer is yes. The vast majority of people come to this event by themselves. You don't have to. There's no, it's not mandatory in any way, but I would say it's very much the exception rather than the rule that people will come with a friend. So particularly for men, actually, it's phenomenally rare that men come with a friend. As I say, you're more than welcome to, but you will be in the significant majority if you do come to this event by yourself. And similarly for women, I suppose it's slightly more common that maybe at events there might be like one or two women that know someone else, but again, it's still the minority. It's completely normal. If you do have concerns around that, then firstly, please know that that's completely natural, completely human. It can be a daunting thing to do. I have whole other podcast episodes specifically on how to make sure that you are comfortable coming to an event by yourself. And then also in each event description for every singles night that I run, it links you to a piece about how to make the most of singles nights and how to do something new and come to something by yourself. So if that is a worry that you potentially have, in every single event description, I'm going to link you to a piece. It's towards the bottom of the description about how to sort of prepare and manage that. And there are things within that we can do as well. You might want to come a little bit early and get settled into the space. We as the host will be there to greet you. You might want to make sure that there's, quiet spaces, which there will be at the events. Whatever it is, we can try and work with you to make those accommodations. But essentially, the nuts and bolts of the question is, yes, most people come by themselves. That's the norm. So please do not worry about that at all. Another question that I get asked a lot is, what should I wear to a singles night? Now, this one's a little bit harder to answer because it's so personal. So I'm going to give you the kind of broad rules of thumb that I would normally go by. I'm going to use that dreaded phrase to start. I'm going to say smart casual, but let me explain to you what I mean by that, because I know that smart casual just means different things to different people. So I guess for me, it would be things like you might want to wear a dress, but then with flat shoes rather than heels. You might want to wear chinos or smart jeans or like a skirt with a jumper. You can, hopefully this is obvious, but you can 100% wear anything you like. So I was going to say you don't need like a tie or like a formal dress, but if that's who you are, if you would like to wear a tie, if you would like to wear a more formal dress, go for it. And at the opposite end of the scale, if you are somebody who wants to wear a much more casual look, you do you. The reason I go with smart casual is a couple of reasons. One, because I work with really beautiful local independent venues to host the events. So that's kind of like the vibe and the tone of the places. They're not exclusive, they're not cold in any way, but they are just that little bit more elevated. They are really beautiful spaces to be in, and that's part of what makes them special as events as well. So it makes sense to just kind of dress in accordance with that. And I think also for a lot of us, there is something about just kind of putting your best foot forward, making sure your clothes are right and making sure you're presenting as your best self. But fundamentally, what you should wear is what you feel comfortable in, what you feel confident in, and what naturally feels like you. So if you have like a favorite piece of jewelry, if you've been watching this for a while, you'll notice I wear this necklace all the time. I don't know how well you can see it. It's like a little heart with an arrow through it. So very, very appropriate for my job. But if you've got a kind of piece of statement jewelry like that, or something that you like to wear it, because that's part of your personality, and that in itself is going to help people get to know you. But fundamentally, you should wear what you feel comfortable in. I often get asked what happens when you get to the event. Now, I'm actually going to encourage you with this to do one of two things. Either go and listen to the podcast episode where I outline every kind of step of what happens. The other thing is please read the event description. Sometimes I'm a little thrown by this question because the event descriptions for the singles nights are so detailed. I promise, like, they're not too long to read. That, you know, it's not like an overwhelming amount of information. It's literally just like a step-by-step guide of like, you'll be greeted, there's conversation cards, there's a quiz, there's games, we'll swap you round tables. That's the nuts and bolts. But like, if you want to know what happens, please just read the event description. It won't take you very long. As I say, I'm going to link everything for you in the description of this podcast. So just, yeah, read it, and then you will know. There won't be any surprises on the night. It will be very much as it's described in the event. And then the last one, and again, I do touch on this in the description of the events as well, is that how things like number swaps work. So if you like somebody at the event, which obviously I really, really hope that you do, then how do you kind of go about that? I would always strongly encourage you to ask for somebody's number at the event itself. You are way, way, way more likely to arrange a date if you ask in person. I have seen this time and time again. And in each description for each event, I also link you to a piece about how to ask for somebody's number. So again, step by step, exactly how to do that. And this isn't a gendered thing. This should be men, women, gender neutral, whatever it is. Shouldn't be a gendered thing. Anyone should be asking for people's numbers if there's an interest there. So there's that article as well. Again, you probably guessed there's also a podcast episode specifically on this, so by all means go back and have a listen. But if you, for whatever reason, if you are really not able to ask for somebody's number on the night, then I will get in touch the next day and I will see if you would like me to swap numbers with anybody. And I will email them with your number and with any message. The one exception is the parties. I don't do this after the parties because they are more relaxed, they are more informal. There's like endless opportunities for you to ask at a singles party. So this is just for the singles nights that I will do this, because they're like slightly more structured events. And I will get in touch and I will see if you want me to swap numbers with anybody. So that is the nuts and bolts of how kind of events work, those frequently asked questions that I get. If you have others, if you've got questions that I haven't answered, please do comment below and let me know. Or I will also include my email in this description, which is my.singles.society@gmail.com. So you can email me if you would prefer. That's also completely fine. If there's anything that I've not answered, absolutely let me know. I'm always happy to answer questions before events, and there's going to be lots more information coming your way in future episodes and future weeks. So please do make sure you are following or subscribed if you're not already. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.